I was telling someone 2 years ago, I said, in other countries, even the hospitals for animals are often better equipped than our hospitals here that treat us in terms of equipment and everything. This morning, I wanted to come by to congratulate all the forces in power and by extension, the region. Congratulations on the work you have accomplished. This is one of the most peaceful regions. But that doesn't mean the job is done. I also encourage you to keep up the fight. This is a very dense area with a lot of forests. Certainly, you have managed to push back the enemy who try to establish themselves here, and I hope you will continue to patrol these forests and make sure there are no attempts at a comeback. So, as I said, congratulations and my encouragement for what lies ahead. I hope I am making myself clear. Just because the enemy can no longer get in doesn't mean it's over. This is a guerrilla war, and here we are at the National Commando Training Center. A commando knows what infiltration means. So the enemy is capable of infiltrating. We must take this into account and therefore remain constantly vigilant. After this, I hope that everyone can further reflect on their commitment. Their commitment because we are facing a war that has been forced upon us. And today, more than ever, I think that all the forces fighting must understand why we are fighting. And I often tell the unit leaders to be able to explain to their men why we are fighting. We are not fighting because we want to fight. We are fighting because we have been attacked. It's been forced upon us. And why was this forced upon us? I think everyone needs to understand that it's because they want our land without us. And this didn't start today. It has always been this way for Africa. Remember slavery, when many Africans were taken away, those who are able-bodied, those of childbearing age were deported, many died, and Africa was emptied of its people. Then came the era of colonization. When they came to our lands, they massacred us, they massacred our ancestors, they killed as many as they could. Africa has been colonized several times. And today, more than ever, it is a new form of colonization. And why does Africa suffer so much? Because we have resources that interest the imperialists. I think each and every one of you needs to understand this. If you are able to put yourself on the front line to fight even to the ultimate sacrifice, as they say, it means you understand the meaning of your commitment. You have come to defend the nation, to protect this land that our ancestors have passed down to us. Our predecessors wrote our national anthem. And I think that when you listen to the anthem of Burkina, it starts with against, because they stood up to many forms of colonization. The Burkinabe stands against humiliation. We are against all forms of domination. The Burkinabe is against neocolonialism. And our duty is to fight and defend our land as well, so that we can pass it on to our children. Today, we are fighting, but not necessarily for ourselves, but for our children. Who here doesn't love their child, for those who have children? Everyone loves their child. If a danger were to threaten a child, the father would rather take the danger upon himself to spare the child. That is to say, the father would rather die so that his child can survive. So the reason we are fighting today is for the generations to come, to leave them better land so they can live comfortably. So there is no holding back in this fight. We will oppose everything these oppressors try to impose on us. And you must keep fighting for that. Listen carefully to our anthem. And it should give you even more motivation. get involved. Because as I often say, Burkina is very rich. Today, our numbers have grown in the armed forces and in the internal security forces. And in terms of equipment as well, we have made a lot of effort. But where did we get these resources? Understand that there was wealth that was poorly managed. And there's even more. Because as some may think or imagine, there is no such bank where you can go and get a loan in this world. In that world, you don't get loans to buy. If you want to arm yourself, you have to use your own funds. But not so long ago, we were thrown into things. We went armed like this, not even close. I think there are many elders here who went through the same thing, who can advise the younger ones about what we experienced just yesterday and what we're experiencing today. And that should motivate you to fight. And that's very important. Fight for your land. Fight to leave a better Burkina to future generations. Fight so that we can properly exploit our resources and benefit from them. We've launched several initiatives. Our parents in the villages are, in any case, more or less happy with everything we're doing for them in terms of agriculture. Because the majority of our population are farmers, with everything we're doing in terms of road infrastructure so people can get around and all that. But all of this is with our own resources. You see images from other countries. You'd like your country to look like those so-called developed countries too. Do you think it's impossible? Well, it's possible. I was telling someone 2 years ago, I said, in other countries, even the hospitals for animals are often better equipped than our hospitals here that treat us in terms of equipment and everything. But what have we done to end up at this level? Well, we are going to catch up and surpass them. That's what led us to launch programs as well, so we can build modern and well-equipped health centers. There's no reason for us to lag behind. This is to say that everything we do, it's possible to do it. That's why we're doing it. And we will continue in this direction. Those who are lucky enough to do internships abroad will take photos by beautiful streets and nice buildings. It's possible here in Burkina too. And that's what we're going to do so that you can live comfortably and well. But for that, we have to fight first. That's why I said, you have to reflect on your commitment, listen to our anthem, and fight. You are very brave, very determined, but often there are certain behaviors that cause you unnecessary losses, especially the use of mobile phones. Those individuals who prove themselves utterly incapable of changing their ingrained habits, specifically of completely giving up their mobile phones during critical operations, we will unequivocally remove them from our esteemed ranks and punish them more severely. This is because we absolutely do not want someone who's addicted to their phone puts other people's lives in danger. Can you imagine? You're on duty at your post. Good soldiers are standing guard, focus on their job. They finish, they come down, they need to rest. And then the saboteur ends up at the post, due to his phone on TikTok or whatever. One sleep, and before you know it, the enemy approaches, attacks, and the good soldiers could die while they're resting. Do you want us to leave them at our backs? Is that what you want? Then we'll get them out from behind us and punish them. I've already instructed the military chief to identify, as much as possible, those who have this addiction, who can't separate themselves from their phone. We're going to find them and punish them because what they're doing is criminal. We can't tolerate this. Of course, we raise awareness, but we can't tolerate it. You can keep the small phones. Those are just for calling your family. But if there's no reason, we deal with it. Those who have parents who are judges or others who might be involved in the court judging the terrorists can ask them for information. Whether it's in the courts, whether it's terrorists captured in combat as prisoners, or those who surrender, all of them unanimously tell us that they managed to carry out certain attacks because of the excessive use of phones by our soldiers. So if there isn't this awareness to get rid of them, we will take strict action. And so before long, you will surely see people being dismissed or even imprisoned because they put others' lives in danger and cannot separate themselves from their phones. In any case, it's quite clear. There is a directive from the military hierarchy that forbids the use of phones during operations. After the awareness phase comes the enforcement phase. We will not tolerate people putting others' lives in danger, even your own life, which you put at risk by using your phone. You do not have the right to do so because you do not belong to yourself. A soldier belongs to the army. You do not belong to yourself. You don't have the right to do whatever you want. You do what the army wants. So everyone absolutely must be able to effectively spread this crucial message so that we can collectively and successfully fight against this concerning phenomenon. If I insist on this point, it's precisely because it is quite serious and indeed a significant issue. It often undermines your courage. And it often leads to us losing good fighters because he was resting. And a false fighter allowed the enemy to approach, attack, and find him unprepared. The message, as clearly as I'm giving it to you, pass it on to your comrades. I know that here you will find soldiers from all ranks. Convey this message just as clearly. And those who are spreading misinformation within the ranks, because they may also be influenced by the stateless people who are surely outside and who continue to fight against Burkina on social media, through the media, and so on. You have to be very careful. When someone tells you not to fight, they want to subjugate you. Do you want to be a slave? So we must fight. There is not a single solution. The Burkinabe will not negotiate with his enemy. We will fight and we will win. That is the only thing that can prevail. There will not be a single ounce of negotiation with anyone. This is our land and we will fight for it. Those who came to attack us, we will not give up anything, absolutely nothing, not even a single square centimeter. So I wish for you to keep preparing yourselves to always remain on alert. Even if you are not on a mission, you must remain on alert. Because at any moment, you could be called into action. You must prepare for battle, and this war must not drag on any longer. Because we will do everything possible to make the fighting regain a certain intensity and to annihilate this enemy. Congratulations to all the forces who are fighting, and I hope you continue to stay close to the civilian population, because that is very important. In the past, we didn't necessarily experience this bond between the army and the civilian population years ago. It wasn't easy. There used to be endless little fights in the neighborhood hangouts. But today, the army and the population are united. And that's a key factor in the success of operations like these. You have the intelligence information you need. You have moral support. You have psychological support. So there's no reason to feel down. There's no reason not to push forward, not to keep going. Keep nurturing this bond with the population. Keep helping them. Keep working to bring them together as well. Because our past decades of poor politics have contributed to weakening our different social groups, often dividing people over trivial matters. And your role today is also to help unite them because your voices carry weight. Civilians believe in you. Today, when a soldier stands up and speaks to a group of 10 civilians, they listen to him, and it becomes easier for the civilians to carry out what you are telling them. So each and every one of you must be an ambassador of peace and unity for our civilian brothers, and continue to play this role as well, to take advantage of these moments of love among us, to talk to them, to bring them together, to help them let go of certain divisions that have arisen solely because of politics. And you must contribute to this because being a soldier is not just about carrying a weapon and running, killing. No. You are trained beyond that. If you are defending a homeland, it is because of all these values that you embody and that you must also be able to use to unite your civilian populations. Good training to those who are still in training. Stay strong. Don't lose your morale. It's tough here, but only the tough make it through, and you are tough and you must make it. For those who are out in the field, I wish you the best of luck in your operations and keep combing through the various forests to detect any possible infiltrations Continue to protect these populations who believe only in you, who rely solely on you. May God be with you in your various missions. May God protect you throughout all your different battles. May you return safe and sound to tell us about the battles so that we can build our Burkina the way we wish. Homeland or death, we shall overcome.